Welcome to Balanced Life, Happy Life weekly gathering, where we offer solutions to the health challenges most people experience on a regular basis. We welcome you to discover our simple and vibrant way to live a more balanced and happy life. And remember, every Tuesday we have an appointment. 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and along with the topic, which is the what, the why, and the how to sleep your way to extraordinary health. We want to emphasize the importance of prevention. Why prevention? Because prevention is a key element in our daily life. It can help us to protect our bodies, take care of our bodies, our health, and the financial aspect too. And prevention is better than cure, of course. And today we will show you what we can do about this. Through 5 vital elements, we can target prevention: air, water, sleep, nutrition, and natural energies. Niken is continually adding new products and technology to the wellness home. Be part of this important movement and start your Niken Wellness Home if you haven't done it yet. And today we will feature sleep. Remember the what, the why, and the how to sleep your way to extraordinary health. Sleep is the best medication. This according to the Dalai Lama. Important points. Sleeping poorly increases the risk of having poor mental health. In the same way that the healthy diet and exercise can help to improve our mental health, so can sleep. And this is according to the Mental Health Foundation by the UK. The importance and benefits of sleep for both mental and physical health should be highlighted in national and local public health campaigns, including in schools and workplaces. This again by the Mental Health Foundation by the UK. And for this gathering, Diamond Consultant, Sherri Danzig. Welcome, Sherri.
Thanks, Ruben. Thanks for having me here. Always a pleasure to be here and to share some insight to sleep. And we're talking about living a balanced life. And I think sleep is truly at the foundation of good health and a happy life too, because you'll see as we get into this presentation that, and I think we all probably know people, maybe even ourselves, when we are not sleeping well, or we know someone that's not sleeping well, they're not usually a lot of fun. They're kind of crabby. So let's get on to it. I'm going to share my screen. Give me just a second. Okay, whoops, wait a minute. Go back. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to talk about sleep. We're going to talk about the how, the what, the why, and we'll get through all this good stuff. So sleep is, well, there's tremendous benefits. And there's been some research that has stayed its ground for many, many decades. Dr. William Demet is one of the original sleep founders. He's one of the co-founders of REM sleep. And this quote is a good place to start here, because we're all here. You're listening to this, you're on here because you have some commitment to living a good life, to living a healthy life, a better life, a balanced life, right? And so we need the facts. We need to know what is truly important, what is going to help us get there. And part of the challenge is that we have this culture that has not respected and understood good sleep, to the point that even doctors, up until fairly recent, in the last couple of decades, have they been really starting to study sleep and appreciate what the importance of sleep is. So Dr. Demet made this statement back in the 50s. So I have so much respect for his insight. He's written a bunch of books. Healthy sleep has been empirically proven to be the single most important determinant of how well you'll live and how long you'll live, predicting longevity. So it's more important than diet, exercise, and heredity. And, this is kind of important because here in the US and in North America, we get all excited about starting new goals, the new year, and people run to the gym and they go on a diet. And those things certainly it's important to move your body and to, eat well. And we can't do anything about hereditary factors. We can't change them per se. But here, back up because it's actually more important that you get good sleep than it is that you exercise more. So, what I've learned is if you had to choose between a good night's sleep or getting some extra exercise, go to bed. It's more important. So, what are the functions of sleep? And as I said, it hasn't been that long that scientists and doctors have been studying what sleep was. It's been so misunderstood that doctors at one point thought it was kind of like putting your car in the garage and just leaving it there. They didn't understand and appreciate how much is happening, that there is so much of a function of sleep. So we understand that it's a time for the body to rest, it's a time for the body to recover. And even though we get in bed and we crawl in bed, and some nights you may wake up the next morning and you feel like you haven't moved. That happens to me quite often with our sleep products. Even though you may be quiet in your body, or at least that's what you think you are, there's a whole lot going on. There's a lot of repair that's happening. It's when our body is repairing, it's when our mind is taking in and processing all the stimulation that we've had all day long. So, this statistic right here is very significant. Almost 90% of the body's growth and restoration occur during sleep. So, what does that say? You get good sleep, you've got 90% of it happening. You're helping yourself with that 90% of restoration. If you're not getting good sleep, you're missing out on 90%. That's kind of scary. So, what are some of the side effects that happen when you don't sleep? Well, I'm not going to sit here and read all these things, but look through the list yourself and see what speaks to you. What things concern you in terms of some of the risk factors. It concerns me that there's a higher risk of heart disease and stroke. It concerns me that your immune system is greatly impaired with one night of poor sleep, getting less than 6 hours of sleep. Your immune system is going to be functioning at least 40% less than what is optimal. So if you haven't noticed this, pay attention. If you don't get good sleep, you're more susceptible to getting sick, getting exposed to whatever things that we are exposed to, but then your body's immune system is down. And so you don't have the ability to fight it. And that's when, if I haven't gotten great sleep for whatever reason, there's those nights where it's so frustrating when you got to get up really early to catch like a really early flight and you go to bed and then you can't sleep because your mind is going crazy, right? So that's when I do some extra things for my immune system. So some things that you may not be aware of is that it affects your judgment. It affects your ability to hold on to memories, to process memories, to think logically. And as I said early on, there's an irritability. So it's really affects your mood. When you wake up and you've had great sleep, you feel great. You feel energetic. When you have not, one of the side effects is that you're quick to react. You're more reactive. You're more moody. So all of these things are serious. They're nothing to ignore. The fact that getting not enough sleep and poor sleep sets you up for a higher risk of diabetes. Again, a very serious thing. So we have to really take this in account in terms of how important we're making our sleep. So, as I said, lack of sleep affects performance. You're more likely to have an accident. You're more clumsy. You're more likely to trip. Not good stuff. And really where it gets serious in terms of accidents is in the car. So there's a high correlation between drunk driving and tired driving. And you can see these statistics here that a very too high of a population 51% of Americans have admitted to driving while they're drowsy. I like to say that, we have the dedicated driver, a designated driver when somebody is out drinking, right? We don't want the person that's drank the most alcohol to be driving everyone home. It's the same is true with sleep. You don't want the person that's tired to be behind the wheel. You want the person that's well rested for this very reason. So, what could be causing problems and how big are they? How big is the problem really? So, again, this statistic here is estimated that about 60% of the population have reported issues with sleep. It's not a small thing. It's not a small thing, and it's not just a certain particular age group. I mean, the range between 13 years old, so teenage years, to on up to I like to call I'm 64, so middle age. Y'all are laughing, right? How big of a problem is, how expensive of a problem is? Well, that's a big number, over $400 billion. And this is going back from several years ago when the study was done. But it's due to people missing work because of a lack of sleep, because a lack of sleep causes, as you saw from a previous slide, a whole bunch of health conditions. You're more likely to get sick. You're more likely to have aches and discomforts. You're more likely to have accidents. And so all of those things play into a lack of productivity, and that is very expensive. So, what things could be disturbing your sleep? Some of the things here, we don't have a whole lot of control when we look at what NECAN can offer to be of support. But many of the things on this list we can offer. We have some great things that we can offer to lend itself to really supporting better sleep. And we'll certainly talk about that. Night shift work, well, that's a tough way that affects your sleep. Um, so you definitely want to be doing lots of things. If you are a night shift worker, you want to do lots of things that can help make your sleep as good as possible. We can't really, impact genetics, but we can certainly address stress. Stress is behind almost every cause of what causes illness. And so stress, whether it's a short term or long term, we can address that in our regular daily lifestyle habits. Environmental issues, those are many things that are some of the first things when I'm coaching someone to get better sleep, that's one of the first areas that we look at is how can we alter the environment, because that's an easier thing to take on. Some people can have some bouts of depression and anxiety that can affect it, or other medical issues. And certainly, physical challenges that cause discomfort in the body can affect how well you sleep. I always like to have this slide when I'm doing a sleep presentation because probably the thing that I run into more likely than any other conversation, people always come up to me and talk to me about it when I've done a presentation on sleep, is how much sleep do we really need? And you'll see at the very bottom that adults need between 7 and 9 hours. And invariably, I have people that say to me, I get by just fine with 4 or 5 hours. And, we're not all the same. So not everybody needs the same amount of anything. But the research is very solid that less than 7 hours of sleep a night is going to have an immediate effect, as I said, on your immune system. And over time, there are lots of reasons to think that different kinds of lifestyle type illnesses and diseases can be either linked to not getting enough sleep, or they can be prevented by getting better sleep. So let's talk about the happy stuff, the good stuff of what happens when you do start sleeping well. And I want to say that even if you've been a chronically poor sleeper for most of your life or for many years, there's still hope, because there are different ways, and we're going to get into this in just a moment, some different tips that can change your sleep environment, improve your sleep habits. So you're going to find out some things about awareness that you can focus on so it can get better. And when it's good, you feel better. your mood is better. You're more optimistic. You're more happy. You have more to give to other people. You're just an all around better person to be around. It helps the creative process. I love that. So if you've got a project where you're wanting to do something, that you're creating something, whether it's artistic or it's inventing something, whatever the project is, your brain is going to be much more open and receptive and more creative when you've slept well. And as we talked about, the absence of poor sleep, which affects your coordination and productivity, when you have good sleep, it affects how you perform. You perform much more. You're much stronger. You're more agile, and athletes really understand this. I've heard in different professional, sports that are being telecast. One in particular, it really stuck with me years ago. In the what is the bicycle, the Grand French, whatever that's called. I can't remember what it's called, but that, for days they're biking, and they said the race is won at night. So any kind of endurance sport, any kind of athletic sport, really, the way you recover is what's going to allow you to get back out there and perform at a high level. So you win by how well you sleep. So another quote here that I think is really significant, that sleep can reduce the levels of stress we've talked about, which is associated. What is stress associated with in this country, particularly with high blood pressure? And probably it's not just in the US, it's probably affecting with North America and other parts of the world, but we have a really big issue, chronic issue with high blood pressure, and stress is a part of that. And so getting good sleep will reduce that stress. It reduces the hormone levels that create stress. It helps to affect your cholesterol levels being at a healthy level, and because of all of that, it's significant in preventing heart disease. To me, that sounds like good stuff. All right, let's get into some tips. So we're going to go through these kind of quick, but these are tips that improve your sleep habits. So all these things are things that are within our control, right? None of this is things that, I can't do that. So you can go to sleep and get up about the same time every day, whether it's during the week or the weekend. That helps to create that cycle that turns your brain off and tells it to be sleepy so that you'll sleep better. That whole balance is, and your body's ability to make melatonin is affected by going to bed at a consistent hour. Lights out between 10 and 11 o'clock. I have to be honest, I struggle with that. That's not typically what I do, but that is an optimal time to go to bed. So, for me, I stay up a little bit later, but I make sure I get at least 7 hours of sleep. You want to find out, figure out what your sleep debt is. And what I mean by that is that, and I take this when I'm coaching somebody about sleep, is they journal. I get them to get a sleep journal. They start paying attention to their sleep. They pay attention to their energy level. And so you're literally gauging how much sleep deprivation or sleep debt you have. If you sit still in the afternoon and you fall asleep, you can't stay awake, then you have a pretty high sleep debt. So that's a graded kind of a thing. One of the biggest things here is that you've got to make it a priority. There's nothing you're going to improve in life. There's nothing we're going to get better at if we don't put attention to it. So one of the most important things for getting better sleep is to make it something that's a priority. Sleeping in a dark room. Again, this is not so difficult to accomplish. You can put nightshades, those whatever those dark shades are called, to block out light. And you can use a sleep mask, and that will help you to be in a dark room, especially if you've got electronics in your room, which would be a good thing to take out. But if you can't so much do that, then you want to block the light out. You want to block the sounds. You want to have a quiet room. Sometimes that's difficult with a partner because you may have a partner that makes a lot of sounds. So it may be earbuds. Sometimes I've had couples that have to sleep in a different room because one is not willing to do anything about their snoring. So that's a reality. Exercise is great. It promotes good health, but don't exercise anything heavy. You could take a stroll, but nothing really intense, up to 3 hours before you're going to go to sleep. Some other tips: watch what you eat and drink, particularly before you go to sleep. Don't eat something really spicy or really rich. Don't actually drink alcohol late at night. This whole idea of a hot toddy is going to relax you. It interferes with your sleep. So you want to look at that. You can maybe, if you're not sleeping well, then you start making some adjustments and checking, so you can create some habits. You want to sleep in a cooler environment, no matter if it's whatever time of year it is. 65 degrees is ideal. And then number 10 is you want to sleep on a supportive, comfortable mattress. Look at your mattress topper, your comforter. And we're going to get into that with some what Nikken offers in just a moment. A few more things. Develop a bedtime ritual. We talked about that. And create a safe haven in your bedroom so that you don't bring any stress, any projects, any things that create worry. Don't bring that into your bedroom. Makes your sleep environment one that feels peaceful to you. There's acupressure points that will help to stimulate relaxation. You can use essential oils and get the TV out of the bedroom. Okay, so those are some tips. That's a lot of information. It may be a couple of things that you want to address at one time to see how you can make a difference. Again, Dr. Dement, he has some amazing things to say about sleep, and I love this quote: "When you put away the sleep debt, when you're not, always at a loss of getting the amount of sleep, you feel like you're superhuman. You feel like you can do everything, because guess what? You really can. You can do so much more with improved mental and physical ability when you are well rested." Yay, so go for that. Okay, so let's now switch gears and let's talk about what Nikken offers, because Nikken has these phenomenal wellness home technologies. And again, as I said, the sleep technologies is truly about prevention. It's truly about investing in your well-being. These technologies are all based on science. There's been a lot of research based on how these products can support really great sleep, and they're inspired by Mother Nature. And that's really the whole product line is like that. So the um, uh, the Natural Rest Fit right here is a topper that goes over any type of mattress. There's many layers to it, and whoever's invited you to look at this, you want to really delve into the technology. It's phenomenal technology, but basically, it's smart technology that gives you. It helps your bed environment to breathe, so that it helps your body to regulate its temperature. It helps to create a stimulating effect. In fact, I've been a massage therapist for over 30 years. It's like lying down in an environment where you're getting a passive massage. Imagine how fabulous that is to get a passive massage while you sleep. There's magnetic technology in there that's designed to help your body be more balanced, to give your cells the energy they need for all of this reparation, all of this repair, and all the things that your body is doing. It allows it to have the energy to do that. There are two different types of pillows. You'll see the newest pillow is over to the right. They're engineered to give your neck support, to have magnets in them, and to help to cool your head. Your head needs to stay slightly cooler than the rest of your body. There's actually a pillowcase that has technologies in it that help to regulate your body temperature, so that, again, so it can be cooler and create a atmosphere of relaxation. The comforter has 4 different technologies in it. It's designed to make your body temperature just right for you, and if you're sleeping with a partner, to make their temperature right for them, which is amazing. I could talk for the next half an hour about this comforter. It has magnets in it. It has a special bioceramic fiber that does that balancing with your temperature and helps to speed up the recovery that we want so much to happen at night. I mentioned the sleep mask, which will block out the light and is very relaxing around everything that's going on around your face. And then some additional sleep products that aren't necessarily exactly sleep products, but they can be incorporated. The Kinko Ground is a grounding pad that allows you to be connected to Mother Nature, so it helps with your body relaxing and releasing the tension and discomfort while you sleep. And then our air filtration system, the Kinko air purifier, is an air system that purifies the air so you can breathe better. And isn't that important while we sleep? Yes, it is. So we're going to end here with my total belief is that self-care equals sleep. They're one and the same. They're synonymous. Ruben, I'm going to finish here. I'm going to stop sharing. And then Regina Matthias is on. We can invite her in so that she can share a sleep testimonial. And my apologies for not giving you her name earlier. Do you see Regina?
Regina, can you raise your hand so I can bring you to the stage? I don't see her in the
You don't see her?
yes, in the participants. I don't see Regina. So
Right.
Regina, if you are here, just raise your hand.
Okay. Okay. Well, it may be that she had some technical difficulties because I know she was going to be away from home. Okay. Well, we may have to save her story for another time. I will tell you that some of my favorite stories myself, I mean, my story is a sleep story. It is how I first got introduced and fell in love with Nikken, was that I was not sleeping well. It wasn't a priority for me. Didn't know enough. And so it made all the difference in the world. I mean, I literally almost crashed and killed myself in my car from an accident I had because I was tired. So that certainly got my attention. And that's really why I started studying sleep. And my most favorite stories have been with working with families with kids that are on the spectrum. They have some sort of challenges, or not having difficulty paying attention, or not as communicative in that population. And to help a child in one of those families where the family is very stressed, and to have the child be able to sleep better so that they are much more awake and connected and communicative, is a way to impact the whole family. So those are some of my very favorite stories. Well, I think it's time to wrap it up. And thank you so much for tuning in, and let's make sleep a bigger priority than perhaps it's been.
Thank you very much, Sherri. Excellent presentation. Thank you very much. And next Tuesday, we have Platinum and Team Tai Chi 2023 Barb Satterwhite with the topic Water Matters. So thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Goodbye.